All right, let's go. I think this will be good.
The IS curve illustrates that when income increases, the
All right, so we know of the inverse relationship between interest rate and income in the goods market. Okay, in the goods market. So when there's an increase in income, interest rate must fall to restore equilibrium in the goods market. Okay, you see what came as the first possible answer. If you don't take your time, just say, oh, there's a fall in interest rate, then you choose it. This is the asset market, but IS curve is supposed to be in the goods market. So be vigilant. Interest rate must fall to restore equilibrium in the goods market. So that should be the last possible answer. Yes.
yes, please. Government policies were paramount to ensure full employment under classical economics.
That is false. Okay, they didn't believe in government policies, so that is false.
The Say's law states that demand creates its own supply. True or false?
Is this true or false?
False.
Very good. It's supply that rather creates demand. Okay, so don't allow yourself to be deceived. It's supply that creates demand, not demand to supply. Okay.
The classical economists.
Oh no, this one.
To classical.
For the firm.
Vigilant. For the firm to maximize profits, the marginal revenue product of labor must equal to the real wage.
True or false?
False.
Why is it false?
It's false.
Okay.
Revenue product is
marginal.
Should we go to nominal wage, not real wage?
Okay.
The marginal revenue product is equal to M.
It's the money wage. If it was supposed to be MPM, then
right.
it will be equal to the real wage.
I'm happy you all understand. So when is the marginal revenue product of labor? It's supposed to be equal to nominal wage. When is marginal product of labor is equal to the real wage. Very good.
Okay. Yes.
Right. Next.
To classical economists, the quantity of money determines the price level. True or false?
So true or false? True or false? Yes, that is true. So when you keep on increasing money supply, you keep on causing inflation. Very good. Next.
Yes, nominal wage. Yes, my lady.
Sorry. Classical economists believe that the substitution effect of a money wage change outweighed the income effects. So labor supply increases when real wage increases. True or false?
True or false?
I believe that the substitution effect of the money wage change outweighed the income. Because the income rate
is true.
Yes, you know that you did it in micro, right? The labor supply curve in micro. You see, we have a backward bending labor supply curve, which means that it's not always true that the substitution effect will outweigh the income effect. When the income effect outweighs the substitution effect, that's where we get the backward bending. But under this system, they assume that the substitution effect is always more than the income effect. That is why we had a positive relationship between the real wage and then the labor
and the
supply.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Then next question. Oh, this one we all know is true, eh?
That is.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, Getty.
Hi, sir. Please, did you say it's true? The question about the classical economy, did you say it's true? I didn't get that part.
This one, the substitution effect.
Yeah.
Yes. it is true. They assume that the substitution effect is more than the income effect. You see that when you increase wage, the income effect will cause you to consume more leisure because we see leisure as a normal good. So if the income effect is rather more than the substitution effect, then it means that whenever there's an increase in wage rate, you work for less hours. That will cause a negative relationship between labor supply and the real wage. When it happens like that, that's when we have the backward bending. But it is not like that in this system. Okay, it's not like that. Right, they believed in total crowding out, right? That there was total crowding out. That's why changes in genes couldn't change the output level. Okay.
Yes.
Under classical economics, price and wage flexibility ensure that the real level of spending affects aggregate output.
True or false? True. Hey.
False.
Of course, the thing is a disjunctive argument. If it is not true, it is. If it is not true, it is false.
It's false.
But you have to take your time. You see, for them,
Under classical,
when you change spending, if you change investment, we saw that there will be no change in the output level. It will only change the components of the aggregate spending. If we change government spending, there's no change in why. It will only cause changes in investment and consumption. So no, please. There is no. It doesn't affect the aggregate output. Okay. All right.
Yes, my lady, please continue.
In the range of diminishing returns, the marginal product of labor curve is downward sloping.
True or false?
true.
True.
Yes, that is true.
Suppose the money wage is increased, the substitution effect entices workers to work for less hours. True
True or false?
False.
False.
That is
False.
yes,
False.
that is false.
Got in real wage you ask.
The last one.
Under classical economics, money was only seen as a medium of exchange. True or false?
True.
Right. The multiple choice questions are finished, but I want us to look at a question on how to calculate the crowding out. In case there's a question like that, there was one in the lecture notes. So if you have time, let's quickly.
Okay, sir.
Let's go on.
And then please, when you go to the YouTube channel, I mean, people are watching, they are not subscribing. Please subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe.
I
Subscribe.
think they don't own the phone.
Subscribe. And then please, for some of you, I taught some of you during the vacation, and when you ask them, they can attest to the benefit of that. This vacation too will be doing same. So in case you want to join, you can contact me and then you come on board. I'm sure the pressure that you are going through now, if you have an edge before the semester before, that should help. You can contact my brother too. When you see Papa, you can.
Yeah, Papa.
Right, please, can you see the screen?
No, please. Hey.
Can you mute yourself now? Can you see the
Yes,
screen?
sir.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good.
But it's bigger.
Right. This is my number. I'm putting my number in the chat room, so you can call me in case. And then the link that I sent you to, when you go there, my contact info to is there. if you want to join too, there's an application form that you can fill there. That one too, you can do with the, I will receive your details. Okay? Right, so the question gave us, this is just about the loanable funds market. We're giving investment, okay? This is the investment function, and then this is the savings function. So initially, we're supposed to find equilibrium interest rate, of which we can all do. To ensure equilibrium, investment must be equal to, okay, someone said I should send the link again. I'm coming. Right, so the link is there. You can just follow. There are some multiple choice questions there. Please, you go and try those ones too. Okay, and I feel like most of you are afraid. I mean, it's just a course. It's economics. Don't worry. You are bigger than econs. Just do your part. Just forget about the pressure. If you have so much assignments that you have to do, don't see the assignment as pressure. As you are doing the assignment, you can be using it to revise. Okay, so I mean, just eschew the pressure. Don't let it be too much. It's like people are afraid. Don't be afraid. The questions will be very easy. Okay, it will be very easy. Sounds like the macro. The first questions are the same. So there are just some salient points that you have to touch. Know how to do the labor market mass, ISLM mass, but most of the times they bring just one. It's either you get this or that. Then when you are done for the intuitive questions, you learn how changes in government spending will not affect the output level. How changes in money supply can't. Those are just the things you have to know. Then you learn the policy effectiveness in the ISLM. There are times where you can just be given an investment function, maybe two. Then you'll be asked to discuss the policy effectiveness on those investment functions for like 20 marks. You'll be surprised. But it's very easy. Questions like that, just use your diagrams, you are done. So don't feel pressured. Okay, take your time. You have 1 week, 7 days, 24 hours times 7. I mean, it's quite a lot. You can do much. So take your time, go over everything again. You realize it will be oversoon. So just encourage yourself. Okay, don't put your spirit down. Right. So after equating the investment to the savings, you get interest rate of 5. Okay, interest rate of 5. So if you want the initial investment and then savings, you can either put this into the investment or the savings function. When you do that, this is the level of investment, which will be the same as savings, of course. Then they introduce bond finance government spending. That is what is going to cause the crowding out. So there was a bond finance government spending of 30 units. So now the demand for loanable funds won't only be the investment function. It will be the sum of the investments and then the bond finance government spending. So when we add that to the investment function, we'll get 88 minus 7R. Okay. So if you want to get your new interest rate, equate this new demand for loanable funds function to the old supply function. Okay, to the old supply function. So after doing that, solve for R, you realize that there will be an increase in interest rates, because whenever there's an increase in government spending, it causes increase in interest rates. So the interest rates increase from 5 to 8. The initial one was 5, right? Yes, 5. So from 5 to 8. Now they want us to calculate for the crowding out. Know that the crowding out happens partly from private investment and then private consumption. So we are looking for the change in investment resulting from the change in government spending, and then the change in consumption resulting from the change in government spending. Okay, so now this is the new interest rate, 8. If you want the new level of investment after the increase in government spending, put this new interest rate into the old investment function. Okay, into the old investment function, and that was 58 minus 7R. So putting your 8 here, the new investment level is 2. So you see that investment has decreased from this to this. So the crowding out in investment to be what? 21, right? 21, the old level of investment minus the new one. Okay, so we are getting what? 21. There's a decrease in investment. And then for consumption, we need to look out for the change in savings resulting from the change in government spending. So now the new interest rate is 8. Put it into the savings function. If you put it into the savings function, this will be the new level of savings, 32. So we have to find the change in savings. This was the old one. This is the initial one. So the change in savings here is what? 9 units, which means that if savings has increased by 9 units, it means that consumption has reduced by 9 units. Okay, so now let's look at the crowding out. Government spending increased by 30. Consumption has reduced by 9. Investment has reduced by 21. So that when you add the fall in investment and consumption, we are getting 30, which is totally crowding out the increase in government spending. Okay, so if you are asked to calculate the crowding out, this is what you do. You look out for the change in investment as a result of the change in government spending, and then the change in consumption, which will work through the change in savings. So what is happening here is that there is no change in aggregate demand, except that there are changes in the components of the aggregate demand. J has changed, C has changed, I has changed, but their sum hasn't changed. Okay, so there will be no change in the aggregate demand at all. Okay, so in case you have a question like this, this is what you have to do. There's no change in the crowding out. I know